we will never be full citizens in our countries. We have to build our own homeland. And he wrote the book, Al Ait Neutland, which means old new land, right? And in 1898, he made a first Zionist gathering in Basel, Switzerland. He was so clever. He convinced all the Jewish fractures together. You know, in Jewish synagogues, for example, every Jewish synagogue believes that the rabbi of the synagogue is the Messiah. Okay? And it was very hard to convince all the Jewish organizations to come together to build the future state. And he did it. He gathered together, and in Basel he said, I put the beginning to the state of Israel. He was visionary. So he started the organization that called Jewish National Fund, and in that fund was dedicated to buy the land in the land of Israel. Then he built the bank, National Bank of Israel, and he started businesses, all kinds of businesses. The next year, 1899, the Second Congress, in 900, another Congress, and every year there was a Congress until 1904. 1904, in the age of 44, he passed away. And it was a tragedy for all the movement, Zionist movement. His friend, close friend, his name was Aryeh Akiva Weiss. He came to Jaffa. He had 6 children, and he lived over here. And while he was living, it was very highly populated area. It's Jewish area and highly populated. By the way, when we will go to the park over there, there was full of houses, Arab houses. From 1936 to 1939, there was an Arab uprising, and the British brought 2 bulldozers and they smashed all the houses, Arab houses, because in the houses there were terror activities. So the British didn't pay any attention. They came with the bulldozers, demolished all that neighborhood, the big neighborhood. You will see there is no houses over there because of the British. But here it was full of buildings. And Aryeh Akiva Weiss, he said that we must buy a property and we will build a Jewish city in the Holy Land. So they approached the Ottomans and they sell to them a little a little land over here, and they called that a city Achuzat Bait. You even cannot pronounce it, right? It is 2 streets was built, Rothschild Street and Gerzel Street, and it was they bought it in 1906. By 1909 they finished that city, Achuzat Bait, and it was the modern city with a sewage system, with water, with the toilets inside of the houses. So it was the modern city, and Jewish people start coming to the land of Israel and start buying the land and building the houses. And what's happened was that the mayor of the city, Mayor Dizengoff, together with another guy, his name was Schenken, was sitting and said, you know, Achuzat Bait, many Europeans cannot pronounce. We must have another name for our city. And they came to conclusion that there was a book that was written by Theodor Herzl, which called The Old New Land. Old in any language, tel. It's the archaeological Tel, which means that one civilization built a city, that civilization was destroyed, another built another city. So there is many layers of that, many civilizations. For example, if you will go to Tel Megiddo, there is about 30 layers in that tel, right? Archaeological tel. So the tel, and Aviv in Hebrew, it means spring or something new. And they call the city Tel Aviv because it was mentioned in the book of Ezekiel. Right? In Ezekiel chapter 10, you can find the name Tel Aviv. So they call the name Tel Aviv by the book of the Theodor Herzl. And now we can see all this, it was sand. Everything was full of sand. Only this part was Jaffa. Do you remember I told you that this structure was demolished? Yeah, when we were walking here? Yeah. Okay, so now the city, as I said, was built in 1909, but city expand rapidly. Even today, we can see in the northern part still building the towers. And this picture probably from 25 years ago. You cannot recognize the city now because here all these places full of skyscrapers. Yeah, everything has changed. Okay, now in this